I did not think I'd be overly fond of Christmas Next Door. I didn't think I'd dislike it, but I thought it would be one of those Christmas films that was just a bit average. Actually, I really, really loved it. So this film was released in 2017. It's the latest Hallmark film that I've seen. And it's directed by Jonathan Wright and written by Judith Berg, Sandra Berg, and Janna King. And I won't spoil the narrative in any great detail, but I will read the description from IMDb. So the narrative, the plot, is as follows. Eric Randall, a famous author who writes about how to stay a bachelor, is forced to look after his niece and nephew over the holidays, and with the help of his Christmas-loving neighbour, he learns to find love and the Christmas spirit. So, I think the narrative is exceptional. There's also a very manipulative grandmother in this who I adore. I absolutely love her. So to make a really long story short, Chelsea and Liam, the niece and nephew, their parents are stuck on a work trip. They can't get back immediately because the airports are shut. So they're staying with their grandmother, but their grandmother, knowing that her son is a bit of a Scrooge, makes up this story that she's got the flu and that can he look after the children while she recuperates or until the parents get back. Devious. Love her. Fantastic character. I thought she was just absolutely sensational. And as the narrative kind of outlined there, it's all about Eric bonding with his niece and nephew and rekindling whatever love for Christmas he used to have. All with the help of his neighbour April. The narrative is brilliant. Anything about, where children are responsible for bringing the youth of Christmas and the magic and the pure enjoyment of it, it's brilliant. Because his neighbour is Christmas obsessed, this is one of those Christmas films where you cannot escape Christmas. It sounds like I'm saying an obvious thing, but there are a lot of Christmas films where Christmas is really the backdrop. But here it is almost a character in its own right. The yards are decorated, the houses are decorated, we have lavish trees, they go Christmas shopping, lovely soundtrack, there's snow. It's an absolutely stunning Christmas film in terms of the visual effects and the sounds, the soundtrack. It is a Christmas film. The narrative develops really well. I think it's pretty predictable. It has a subplot of April trying to audition for, I think, the Philharmonic because she's a violinist. I feel like that it gave the character a bit more substance, but I don't really feel like it was necessary. It was there. It was too there to be ignored, but not there enough to really elicit any emotions of any kind. So I kind of could have done without that. But aside from that, I have absolutely no complaints. The character of Eric I love. I thought I would dislike him. Now, being a writer myself, I love it when a protagonist is an author. I always find that really thrilling, and I love it when he goes to his agent and the conversations they have about the publisher's expectations. I find that very exciting. So this ticks all of the boxes for me. I loved Eric's own journey as a character. I think he had a lovely little story arc, and there was just absolutely nothing about what he brought to the table that I did not like. The performances all round absolutely brilliant. I have to say, Jenna Weir and Liam MacDonald, who play Chelsea and Liam, brilliant, lovely, fun performances from the children. Thoroughly enjoyed their role in this. I have no issues there. Fiona Gubelmann plays April, and she has the most beautiful smile. She smiles and the whole screen lights up. It's insane. And Jesse Metcalfe plays Eric, who is, well, he's absolutely brilliant, and I have absolutely no complaints about him, and I don't think anybody really does. He's also in a couple of other Christmas films, which I may watch. It will be hard to not compare, but I will try my best to not compare. Christmas Next Door is gorgeous. I will say there was one thing that I didn't understand. At the very, very beginning, April is playing her violin, and 2 houses down, and these are not small houses, 2 houses down, Eric turns up his loud music to drown out the sound of the violin playing. It made it seem at the very beginning like they were direct neighbours, but there's actually somebody who lives in between them. So I'm not really sure how they managed to kind of do that. It's not like the walls are paper thin, these are solidly built houses with an entire house between them. They did something wrong there, that didn't work. They should have just made them direct neighbours. But aside from that, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it is Christmas, it's great fun. I think you'll really like it. The characters are spot on, no issues at all.